Hello and welcome to the Flory Models Friday catch-up show. Here we are with you on the 5th of August 2025. First of all, apologies that I've been around for the last few weeks. To be honest with you, we had a bit of a family emergency. One of the members of the family wasn't well at all. So unfortunately been dealing with that, which obviously means everything gets thrown out of kilter, and obviously time is very, very precious. So one of the things I had to give was the Friday show because I literally didn't have time to do it. Trying to do normal stuff for the membership and the various things we get up to here on Flory Models, plus the fact all the building work, and we had a few problems with that as well. So yes, it's been one of those last couple of weeks. So unfortunately the Friday show slipped because of everything that's been going on. But anyway, we are back. We're back at it, and hopefully next week pretty much everything can return to normal as we make our way through. So anyway, been really having a great time as well working on this particular thing. So this is Magic Factory's first bikes that they've done, 1/9 scale. Again, I can't fault them. They are absolutely fantastic. I've been building this one now for the last couple of weeks, just doing literally an hour here, hour there when I can, and things like that. And it is absolutely gorgeous. It's going together flawlessly. The instructions can be a little bit of get your head around it. But again, using different angles and obviously references of the real bike and things like that, you get a little bit of an idea for it. But yeah, it has been a lot of fun. So anyway, it all started on last Friday even, where we put up the first part of the actual Fireblade actually went up right the way through. And as I said before, and basically with all Bandai kits as well, take your time with it. Make sure you do good part cleanup because again, this particular kit has no glue and it doesn't need to be painted. So when you are taking, bits of the little tabs off and things like that and sprue attachment points, make sure you've got a good pair of snips, or go back afterwards and do the little bit of cleanup, because otherwise if you've got any bits sticking out and things like that, it's going to come back and it's going to bite you. All right, so as you can see, we did a little bit of color testing as well. So we did some painting of the sprues with some of the aluminium color to make sure we had the correct color, and then we made sure we had the right black color as well, because obviously there's nothing worse when you do a touch up and it looks worse than the original accident. All right, luckily for us, we found out that the AK pens, the markers, the rubber black is a perfect color for the black, and the aluminium is a perfect for the sort of silver colors with those ones. So with that down, we really got stuck into it. So any little sprue, little attachment marks, things like that, we just came in with a dab of silver and that took care of that right the way through. The engineering, I can't fault it. It is very sharp, very crisp, but the tolerances are very tight. So again, make sure you get this thing sent home properly. Also, that you might find that some of the bit parts that have been painted or coloured in, so to speak, they can affect the tolerances a little bit as well. So you might have to do a little bit of cleaning back and things like that with it. I haven't found too many places apart from one I'll talk to you about in a moment. Really nice because it's screw, it's metal parts. Obviously we've got active springs in there and things like that with the entire build. And it went together absolutely lovely. Very much good couple of hours putting this together and thoroughly enjoyed it right the way through. It does say glueless, but as you'll spot in some of these photos, you do get the odd little mark like these ones down in here things. So I went back and I have re-glued them just like that. But generally it's a really nice kit to work on, especially if you're not into painting and too much into gluing really. So we'll see how this one continues over the next few days with this one. All right, then on Tuesday it was a vlog with me. To be honest, it was a bit more obviously for the members side of it about what's going on with everything. So I gave them a little bit of a tour around the building work, and then obviously the various things that are going on with my mum at the moment, and a little bit of a catch up before we started to get back into things as normal. And then last night we had the live show on. Again, I have put it all down in here with all the questions that were asked, and then obviously go through with the answers actually in the video. So again, great to be back on the live shows, getting these done and going through them. So we were looking at people's work, what was going on with all of those at the moment, and then obviously we're working our way through all the questions and answering them. So we're talking about the F15 and how it's the F15C with a few extra sprues in there, and some of the upgrades that I did to it right the way through on my particular build. And that's just generally answering all your questions right the way through. We were talking about paint brushes and going through with fine tip brushes. We were talking all different things down in here, including we were talking all about oil washes and how I make up my oil washes, and the different ratios and mixtures to use to get the effects that you're actually after. All right. Also, we were talking about using clay washes as washes. We were talking about using acrylics as washes and everything in between, plus about all the other stuff we were going through on here. We were talking about the new AK markers, which have the new tips and they have a habit of flooding and things like that. It's a bit apparently like using a fountain pen. I can't comment because, to be honest, I haven't got one. So, or any of them at all. But that's what that was all about. And as you can see, as darkness fell around us, we were talking about all things and going on, obviously talking about the bike and everything we were working on with the bike and how that's going down in there as well, and generally having a good chin wag. So members, if you want to catch up with that one, you can go back and see the live show from there. Said before, if you go in the forum, you can see all the questions, so it'll tie in to the timestamp. So if you want to skip ahead to any of these ones, you can just literally go along to like 1 hour, 9 minutes in, and we talk about all the different things down in there. All right, so you haven't got to go flying through it all. Next up with you today is part 2 of the Magic Factory CBR, the actual Fireblade. All right, so down in here we were talking about putting the screws in, all the bits and pieces like that, using the hoses, which work really, really well, though they can be a bit fiddly to get some of these small parts in without them picking off. So for instance, that one there is the valve for the tyre, for the rear tyre. That pinged off twice. Managed to find it both times, thank God. And generally screwing and fixing everything down into here for the rear assembly, and then getting the main sort of, engine onto the chassis of the bike as well, and then fitting all the parts onto it just like that. And then again, talking about these little lights, and this is a classic example with this kit. It's the only fault, I suppose, can't really even call it a fault, just needs a little bit of fiddling. But because these clear parts have been pre-painted for you, which is lovely, the downside is the tolerances for going through the holes now don't work. So I don't think if they were unpainted, they would fit fine, but now they've got a coat of paint on them, and obviously being clear gloss, it's a bit thicker and they don't fit. So I had to come in and remount all the holes for the brake lights on the back and get them in there. Once they were in there, that was absolutely fine. All right, then we actually mount up the rear to the main chassis and get all those areas in there and start to get it all plumbed in and plugged in and screwed together and everything else like that. So again, if you want to go off and see that one, members, that one is up with you right now. You can go off and see that as we speak. Over the last couple of weeks, I have done some reviews. So we had the Stalwart as well. If you haven't seen it already, I know we were talking about it last night. It's a really, really popular kit, but a great kit as well. So you can watch the review of that one. And obviously, if you do want to see some of the high-res photos, just click onto it and you can see them just like that, as with all the other bits as always. All right, so if you want to see any of those ones, you can do down in there. And then the other one which went up the other day, which is lovely kit as well. I am a bit of a fan of the Harriet, so I'm probably biased, but Yuma have done an absolutely fantastic job on this kit. They've looked at obviously the Harriet detail and they've got it right. There is a couple of errors that they've brought to my attention, but at the end of the day, I still think it's a really nice upgrade. And what we actually do is have a good look at the old with the new. So at the back end of the review, we look at the differences between obviously the new Harrier kit and obviously the old legendary Hasegawa one from the 90s and how they stand up to them. Obviously, there's a lot more detail on the more modern kit than what we find on the older one. But again, the old kit is still a fantastic kit. But for going together in detail, I think Yuma's nailed this one. It's really, really nice. I just hope that they're going to bring out some Sea Harriers, and a GR5 would be nice, and a GR7, and a GR3, and a GR1, FRS, and obviously we want all the T-Birds as well. So, but we can only hope with that one. But again, their first kit release, and I think they've hit the ground running. I often say this with the brand new manufacturers now, like Magic Factory as well. It amazes me their first kit is brilliant. I expect them to be good and then get better. So I always think that, you start pretty well like this, you've got to live up to some big shoes at the end of the day, because your next kit better be as good. All right. So anyway, that's down in there as well. Other things going on at the moment, obviously all the washes are back in stock. Also, the 3D printed stuff is back in stock as well. We've got the holders, the jigs are back in stock as well. And something a little bit new is down right at the bottom, scroll past all the Sanders and all the DSP stuff, is these. So obviously the members know all about this because it's been out for over a week now, but we've got our 20th anniversary set. It's just £20, and actually what you get, or plus that, what you actually get is the steel tray. You get the big vinyl sticker, you get the collector's card, you get 3 bottles of wash. So you've got the legendary 2 original colours of being dark dirt and light dirt as it used to be, and you get the more modern grime. So 3 really good colours this one, and you get the limited edition holder for this one. So this is our 20th anniversary holder. Also, as it has been pointed out to me, it does fit Tamiya glues, lots of other ones, Tamiya paints, anybody's paints in 10mm sort of bottles. Also, it does the extreme metals fit in here and everything else. So you basically get the holder, you get the washes, you get the steel tray, you get the actual collector's card, and you get the big sticker for as well for just £20. It's our little way of thanking you for the last 20 years and thousands of bottles that have been sold all around the world as well. It is for a limited time as well, so when we've sold out of these, that will be gone as well. So at the moment we've sort of got about 38. There is some more as well, but we put 100 up there to start with. So if you want to grab one of these ones, just pop over to the store. They are down in there where you'll find all the other bits and pieces, as always, in the Flory Models store. Like we were saying, we've got the display stuff, and I've got a restock of display stuff coming in hopefully next week. So that'll be nice as well, with some of the stuff we're out of there and some other new items coming in shortly. Like, for instance, the cutter should be back in stock. We've got the tapes will be back in stock as well. So if you want to get any of those bits or anything else from the Flory Models range, you can do, as always, just pop over to the store there. Remember, if you're in the EU, you can pop over to the Flory Models Europe store at Brevaco Modelling. And obviously, if you're in the US, you can go over to High Altitude Hobbies down in there. Other things as well, obviously over at PM Store as well, so pmmodelsuk.com. All right, we've got some kits down in there, and we've got some very, very nice stuff as well. We've got the Spitfire. We've got one of these, which I'm going to have to get for review because it looks absolutely fantastic, which is the 72nd scale new tooled helikit of the actual Hawkeye. So that looks to be very, very nice indeed. Also, we've got the Qatari 109 as well down in there, and obviously some of the ones we've seen in here as well over the last few weeks. We've got a little bit left over as well of the Kitty Hawk stuff. So if you fancy any of those ones, right the way through. Hopefully I'll get the Boston next week, and we'll do for the review for that one. So that should be up with you on there. But again, we've got all your other stuff. Got a couple of mystery boxes still as well. So we obviously got the AFB small and the AFB large box as well. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can down in there. And don't forget, we've got all your usual stuff as well, with all your solutions, your paints, your fillers, your glues, and everything else in between down in here as well. So if you need any of your modeling bits and pieces, we've got you covered just down in there as well. And that is about it. It's lovely to be back. I must admit, I'm really looking forward to getting back on the bench and getting some time in. I want to get this one pretty much done by next week, and then I'm going to be starting on our next giant build, which is the 32nd scale Kitty Hawk Bronco with a load of aftermarket to throw at it as well, which is going to be our big summer build coming up in this month. Okay, so look out for those coming through. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with a gallery, which is a bit special because it's 2 weeks worth crammed into one. So hang around and have a look at some amazing models that the members have been producing whilst I've been away. Anyway, that's it from me. Happy modelling. Take care. I'll catch you all next week.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing. And you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow. In immortality, I can see you and me free. In immortality, I can see you and me free. You left me crying and running through a ghost town, alone and stranded. Why leave me hoping and guessing for the answer?